Good morning, everybody. This is Sparky Dog. After 8 or 10 hours sleep, he's exhausted. Anyway, how are you all? It's about 8 o'clock and the sun is desperately trying to peek through that grey gloom behind us. It's been pointed out that everyone has a friend who's always cold. Well, I'm going to volunteer Julie for that, despite the fact I've got my Canada beanie on. This is the only time I've worn my Canada beanie outside of Canada. There's a bit of a clue there. Anyway, last night I was awake a lot trying to figure out why is Bass Strait so notorious, and I've got a few ideas to share with you, and I just thought you might want to know because it's basically a stretch of water like many others, except it is rather unique in many aspects. So bear with me because we're trying a passage plan, which is something you do to make sure that you can get across a body of water as safely and as quickly as possible, and get to the other end when you're supposed to, because we have to cross the gate Gippsland Entrance Bar when we get there. So here goes. This is, as you know, Tasmania. That's Victoria. This is Flinders Island where we are. Now Bass Strait is actually sort of that bit there. So it's actually not very big. However, it is rather unique. What makes it so rough? First of all, Australia is a very big landmass, so it produces significant weather. Second thing is this here. This is really deep water. It's about 4 kilometres deep here, then it gets to 2 kilometres, and then it gets to 50 metres. So you've got 4 kilometres of water moving into 50 metres during tidal changes. On this side, you've got 5 metres into 50 metres. That's a lot. That's a lot of water change. Now this area here is actually quite shallow. This used to be a land bridge between Australia and Tasmania. This is where the Indigenous walked across forever ago. Right, so we got the rising water, the upswelling water. Another thing is, this will show you the neatness of the tidal currents. This is the East Australian coast, as you can see. That's around the bottom of Tasmania, and that's the bottom of the South Australian coast. Those are the tidal currents in Bass Strait. As you notice, they're not anywhere else. And that, I'll zoom in on that in a second. So if you look at this, we're here, and we need to go to here. So these currents vary all the time. So this is just from the tide. That blue that you can see there is a bit over 2 knots. So that's 4 to 5 kilometre-hour currents. Another thing that affects the weather in Bass Strait is this. This is the East Australian current. It's sort of not going very far south at the moment, probably because of the weather we've had. But it sometimes comes down here. So it brings warm water down past New South Wales and Victoria. Keeping in mind this is where that upswelling is, that deep water. So then you've got cold and warm water coming into here, mixing in here. Then you've got cold water coming into here, and they're both going from deep water to shallow water. Next is wind. Bass Strait's famous for it, and we've been here a little while now, and it's not an unwarranted statement. You get these things. These are fun. You know, fun like going to the dentist is fun. They're obviously low pressure cells that come in and generate quite a lot of weather. And then on the other thing that you get is fronts that come up from the Arctic Circle like this one. This is what we got caught in coming down. Well, we learned a lot. It was exhilarating and exciting, but not something you want to choose to do. Okay, another aspect is wind. Now, when you have wind going against waves or wind against current, if this is a wave on a current, it's popping along nicely, it's a nice round wave, then the wind comes along and pushes it, and what it does is it pushes it into a peak. So a nice round wave becomes a peaky wave, which is much higher and generally closer together, which makes it really rough, hence the washing machine terminology. The resultant action of that is waves. This light colour here is 6 metres. See the 6 metre waves coming through here? This drift drops off to about 2 meters, this darker blue, and this darker blue over here, and this lighter color is less than a meter. So we are here. Oh, no, we're not. Sorry, that's a lie. We're here, but off, that's outer sister and inner sister, but off this point there are 6 meter waves at the moment. Clearly, that's why we're sitting in here. Obvious, really. So to give you a quick rundown, you get warm water coming down here, comes to this and pushes up, creating a washing machine effect because it's going an upswelling. You've got this side to a lesser degree. You've got massive currents coming through here due to the tide. You've got strong winds coming down this coast this side, and you've got strong winds coming across this side. You've got massive waves coming up from the bottom, and all that meets right there. Now, if that's not enough, just for giggles, there's an oil field in the middle of it. Just for giggles. So I'm going to give you a bit. That's why Bass Strait's so rough.
Really?
All those things at once. Isn't it sensational? Anyway, just thought I'd share that. You might not know, and if you didn't know, you do now. And if you did know, well, there you go. You know twice. I'm just going to show you Sparky. He's riveted. He's absolutely riveted. You all have a great day. Hope that made some sense and wasn't too confusing. Take it easy.